Most conversations about Jesus start and end with the Bible. We often treat it as a book of faith, separate from the gritty reality of our world. But what if we started somewhere else? What if we began our investigation in the cold, hard annals of Roman history? Imagine a respected Roman official, a man of letters named Tacitus, sitting down around AD 116 to write his final major work, the Annals. He is not a friend of the Christians. He describes their superstition with disdain. Yet, when recounting Emperor Nero's persecution, he provides a stunning piece of external validation. He writes that their founder, Christus, was executed by Pontius Pilate during the reign of Tiberius. This isn't a believer trying to prove a point. This is a hostile source, confirming the core facts of the Christian story. This single detached sentence throws open the door to a different kind of inquiry. Beyond Tacitus, other voices from the ancient world speak of Jesus, creating a chorus of confirmation from outside the Christian faith. Consider the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus. Writing his Antiquities of the Jews around AD 93, he was a well-connected aristocrat, not a follower of the Nazarene. In one famous passage, he refers to James, the brother of Jesus, who was called the Christ. This is a casual, matter-of-fact reference. Josephus assumes his readers know who Jesus is. For a historian, this is gold. Pliny the Younger, a Roman governor in modern-day Turkey, wrote to Emperor Trajan around AD 112, describing Christians who sang hymns to Christ as to a god. When people dismiss the Gospels, they often do so with a wave of the hand, imagining a centuries-long game of telephone. Stories passed orally, embellished and distorted, and written down long after the facts were forgotten. However, modern scholarship has shown this picture to be deeply inaccurate. The Gospels are not late, anonymous legends. They are biographies based on eyewitness testimony, written within the lifetimes of other eyewitnesses who could correct them. Most scholars date Mark, Matthew, and Luke to AD 60 to 85, with John's Gospel by the 90s. This is incredibly close to the events themselves. Luke writes as a careful investigator, compiling eyewitness reports. An even earlier creed in Paul's letter dates to within years of the crucifixion. The Gospels contain undesigned coincidences and embarrassing details, the ring of truth. The topic of miracles is often a sticking point for the modern mind. We live in a world governed by scientific laws, where water does not turn into wine, and the blind do not suddenly receive their sight. It's easy to dismiss the miracle stories as pre-scientific myths. However, the evidence shows miracles were central from the beginning. Even opponents acknowledged unusual acts, attributing them to darker powers. No one said, "This man does nothing out of the ordinary." Feeding thousands, healing in public, and raising Lazarus in view of many. The accounts name people and places. Bartimaeus healed on a public thoroughfare. Nature miracles, calming a storm, walking on water, defy psychosomatic explanations. If we allow that more than the material exists, these consistent public reports become powerful evidence. Everything in Christianity hinges on one audacious claim, the resurrection. If Jesus died and stayed dead, he was a tragic martyr. If he conquered death, he is something else entirely. Let's note facts accepted by most historians, including skeptics. Fact 1. Jesus died by Roman crucifixion. Fact 2. His disciples were devastated and hid. Fact 3. He was buried in a known tomb. Fact 4. A few days later, the tomb was found empty. Fact 5. The disciples became bold, willing to suffer and die, claiming they saw him alive. Focus on the empty tomb. The earliest preaching happened in Jerusalem, the scene of the crime. You crucified him, God raised him, the tomb is empty. If false, opponents could have shown the body and ended it. Instead, they claimed the disciples stole the body, an indirect admission the tomb was empty. People die for what they believe, not for what they know is a hoax. His words offer the most direct evidence of his identity. He was not just a humble teacher, he made staggering claims. I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Not thus says the Lord, but truly, I say to you, claiming inherent authority. He forgave sins. Who can forgive sins but God alone? They asked. He took the Son of Man title, everlasting dominion and glory. Asked if he was the Christ, he answered, "I am. You will see the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven." This sealed his fate, condemned for blasphemy. The trilemma: lunatic, liar, or Lord. His character makes the first two unlikely. The third demands attention. We have traveled a long road, dusty archives of Roman history, explosive events in Jerusalem, non-Christian corroboration, early eyewitness testimony, miracles in the earliest reports, the empty tomb, transformed disciples, and the cumulative weight of many lines of proof. An effect of monumental proportions demands an adequate cause. The New Testament's answer: the resurrection. Look at the facts and decide for yourself. If he is more than a man, everything changes.